Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are jumping on today for another Facebook Live in the Elevated Flow series. And if we haven't already met, I'm Claire Jones, owner of Liminal Clarity, and I am a flow expert, creative flow, intuitive flow, productivity flow, and I help women, visionaries, innovators, and creators reach and maintain flow state, even in times of change, stress, and or transformation, so that we can all just achieve more in less time with less stress, right? Because that's what we all want. So I'm jumping on today to talk about how we can increase our creativity, our productivity, our innovation, and aligned flow in these times of change, because we are all going through times of change in one way or another. So if you're catching me live or if you're catching the replay, comment, tell us where you're tuning in from and how many hours of sleep you prefer every single night. It's different for everyone, and I'm interested to see if there's any trends in my audience. But before I get into the nitty gritty, I wanted to let you know that I'm opening up the last 3 spaces to those of you out there who want to move in harmony with your truest selves by cultivating intentional flow and productivity to achieve your life's work with ease and joy. So book a call with me if you're interested. I'll put the link in the comments. If you're joining us on YouTube, it's going to be in the description for your convenience. So, what is my background with sleep time? This is a topic that I've been working on for most of my life because I've always loved sleep. I love sleep. I've been a big sleeper for my entire life, and I've always slept for really long hours. When I was a kid, it was actually because I had enlarged tonsils that were giving me sleep apnea at night, and so I was always cranky and tired. But my tonsils did get removed when I was 5, and that sleeping habit never really changed. When I was a teenager and when I was in college, I routinely slept 12 hours a night whenever I got the chance. I didn't always get the chance, but when I did, I took advantage of it. As a teenager, it got so bad that when I had sleepovers with my friends, I would get annoyed at them, and they would get annoyed at me because I would want to continue sleeping in the morning when everyone else wanted to get up and watch cartoons and chat and be teenage girls. As an adult, I really had to make an effort to find a routine that works for me and works for my schedule and is more sustainable. And I've actually found that 9 hours a night is an optimal level for me. If I sleep less or more than 9 hours, I tend to get really groggy. And if I get 7 hours or less, I am not a happy camper. You don't really want to be around me. But I can't always turn my mind off when I do lay down to sleep. So I've actually come up with a lot of solutions to help me through that. First is melatonin. It's my go-to insurance policy to make sure that I fall asleep quickly and stay asleep throughout the night, especially when my life is particularly stressful or I need to adjust my sleeping schedule due to time changes or unusually early meetings. Like if I have a meeting at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., I'm going to be going to bed at 7:30, 8:30 at night because I need those 9 hours. Second, I love to keep my room cool. So ideally between 65 to 68 degrees is my preference. Third, I like to keep my room quiet, but I do keep a fan running at night just to drown out any background noise that might interrupt my sleep. Fourth, I also like to keep it dark. I know at least in the Pacific Northwest, where I'm located, we have very early mornings in the summertime because the sun comes up very early. And so I really need to invest in blackout curtains to keep myself asleep in the morning. And fifth, I also like keeping a journal by my bed and brain dumping before I go to sleep. It is very helpful because my mind doesn't have a lot of stuff to ruminate on and be like, oh, I have to do this, oh, I have to do that, oh, I have to remember that. I can just write it all down before I go to sleep and take care of it and then move on to a peaceful slumber. Can anyone relate to this? I'm sure there are a lot of you out there. So if you're interested in getting clear on how to best devote your time to aligned wellness activities like sleep time, I am opening up these last 3 spaces to those of you out there who want to achieve more in your lives and have less stress while doing it. So book a call with me if you want to chat. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty with sleep time. It is perhaps the most overlooked and undervalued, but the most important area to focus on when the mind and body are exhausted and mental capacities are fading. Sleep deprivation is considered to be even more dangerous than a lack of food, and sleep has been found to be essential for homeostatic restoration and regulation, temperature regulation, tissue repair, immunity, memory processing, and even emotion regulation. So, one thing you can do is to prioritize sleep time throughout the week by restricting your work time to 6 to 8 hours a day and get 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. Some people need less time, some people need more time, so experiment and find out what works best for you. Just make sure that you're consistent when you find the routine that works. Having a consistent scheduled bedtime and awake time is going to improve your ability to tap into sleep when you need it. So also an easy tool to make sure that it goes smoothly and seamlessly is to keep your bedroom dark and cool. Like I said, ideally between 65 to 75 degrees, depending on what you like, and keep all lights at a minimum. So this also applies to LED blinking lights. So if you have anything in the bedroom that's electronic, that has lights on it, a TV, a Wi-Fi router, even your phone charger, just make sure that you block out these lights so that you can sleep effectively. They make really handy dandy blackout light stickers that help with this. So you can easily get them online, just stick them onto the lights, and you don't need to worry about them anymore. So for example, I was once sleeping in a room that had a Wi-Fi router in it. And if you've ever seen a router, it has lights that go on every day, all day long, just blinking. And it was right next to my bed, right where my head was. And so I had difficulty sleeping at night because I had these orange lights blinking in my face all night long. So I got blackout light stickers and stuck them over the lights, and they completely blocked them out. And I was able to sleep a lot more soundly and was pretty much just a happier person overall. So how are you protecting your sleep habits? That's what I want to know. Is sleep going to be the first thing that's sacrificed in times of stress? You know, there's this concept called revenge bedtime procrastination. And that's when people delay their bedtime so that they can squeeze in an extra hour or so of me time at night. Because they feel like they don't get enough me time throughout the day. They feel they have to squeeze it in at night when no one else is demanding things from them. This is very common for parents. This is very common for people who have high peopling jobs. And so think about, are you self-sacrificing sleep for the sake of me time? So this is a very important question that you can ask yourself as you're figuring out your day-to-day schedules. Where else can you fit in me time so that you don't have to sacrifice your sleep for it? Maybe you shift me time to the morning instead of in the evening. Maybe you have me time at lunch instead of, sacrificing your sleep at night. So this is actually a thing. Google it, revenge bedtime procrastination, and it affects a lot of us. And long-term sleep deprivation is just so detrimental to our bodies, our minds, our emotions. So this is super important to kind of just self-inquiry and self-explore so that you understand how you interact with sleep and how you negotiate with sleep as well. So that's pretty much it for today. And if you're interested in learning more, please book a call with me. Let's talk about the best way to create a custom mix of mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical support to combine the powers of neuroscience, spirituality, and wellness practices so that you can achieve your goals while having way more fun in the process. You too can reach and maintain flow state even in times of change, stress, and/or transformation. I can't wait to support you all. So in the meantime, please join me for more of these Facebook Lives where I'll be diving into each of these areas and providing practical tips, tools, and recommendations. I'll be jumping on tomorrow to talk about downtime. And until then, remember that your authentic self is extraordinary, it is wonderful, and you owe it to yourself to create the elevated life that you know you are capable of. Take care, everyone. Bye.